Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, I have somewhat of a controversial reading. Oh, days don't I? This has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. I'm going to ask the cards, why do some people eat pork? Why is it against some religions not to eat pork? And other people, other cultures and people can't get enough of it. Like I'm thinking like the Spanish and their Iberian ham. The Germans, everything, ham sausage, ham hock, ham schnitzel, or Wiener schnitzel, or pork schnitzel, or ham hock, or anyways, they eat tons of pork in Germany. In China, that's pork. Some of the biggest farms here in Alberta send every single pig to China. So, why do some cultures embrace pork and other cultures or religions it's forbidden? So, I thought I'd ask the Sufi tarot, because the Sufi tarot, of course, Muslims don't eat pork. Muslims and Jewish people don't eat pork. And yet, I have seen a Muslim eat pork and I've seen a Jewish person eat pork. So, I think it's, is it religion? Is it health? And where did that come from? And where did that come from? So let's ask the cards. And so I don't want to make this a religious reading. I just want to know, should we all not be eating pork? Like, is there something wrong with pork? Here's one of the things that bothers me about pork. I'm a pork eater, but I've really cut back lately, and that's one of the things that really activated this reading is that I'm not comfortable with the fact that pig hearts match human hearts or pig parts match human parts. I'm really not comfortable with that. I'm thinking, what's going on here that we're so close? Like, wouldn't you think like a chimpanzee or a gorilla heart would, or any kind of monkey heart or anything match us better than a pig heart? And so I kind of did some deep dive on that. And there are some tales that pigs were actually used to breed with humans to create workers. And there's some cultures that believe if you eat pork, you'll start to look like a pig. And I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever seen, don't take this the wrong way, I've got deep German roots, some older German big men, and look at their face, they're around their neck and their big cheeks, right? And their nose is kind of turned upright. It's now that I've said it, I want you to go back and look at it. Anyways, let's find out. Why do some religions and cultures forbid pork? What's wrong with pork? Oh, the clock is excited for this reading. 5 of coins. Well, it can make you sick. That's true too. 5 of coins, and this is interesting because this shows that it puts you outside, right? And also 5 of coins is it's poverty and it can make you sick. So maybe they think it's the poor man's meat. 4 of swords. Wow. It can really make you sick. The 4 of swords is the sick bed. Wow. I wonder if way back in the day, you have to remember they didn't have refrigerators in the Middle East, right? When you think of Judaism and Muslim not eating pork Essenes, right? Uh, it's it's almost like they didn't have the heat. So if they didn't eat the whole the whole pig right away, and they waited a day, maybe they got sick. So then they said, okay, we can't eat pork anymore. 8 of cups. Something was missing. These are huge cards. I just want to make sure they all fit in. Maybe it didn't travel well, right? Do you think maybe it didn't travel well? Ooh, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And then we have poverty here too. Maybe they were expensive. I can't see how pigs are expensive because you can feed them slop or anything. Wow. The King of Cups in reverse. Maybe they felt that the pig made you more emotional. Wheel of Fortune in reverse, though. I think it has a lot to do with making people sick. First two cards are illness. Also, it doesn't travel very well, doesn't keep for very long. And yet you think of it, they didn't have cooking, but they had smoking. You think about it, if you put out fish to dry, like I look at our natives, they would put meat out to dry to make like a beef jerky or buffalo jerky, I guess it was. Or you put fish, you put it on a line and let it dry, and then they would eat it later. Maybe they found that they couldn't do that with pork for whatever reason. Maybe it's too fatty and takes too long to dry, so it didn't travel very well. But Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I think a lot of people got really sick from it. And then of course, if you're sick, you can't work, you can't travel, you can't support your family. And then the Shaw of Cups here also, there's the King of Cups is also a physician. And I'm wondering if they had their doctors or their shamans or their village elders or whatever said, put two and two together and said, we're getting sick from eating this pork. It doesn't keep well. We're getting sick. Actually, people could have been dying. And he was the one that who came up with it and said, sorry, you just simply can't eat this anymore. 10 of Swords. Yeah, you know what? People were dying from eating it. People were dying. They were absolutely dying from eating pork. And so you think about it, it Jews, Christians, Muslims. So for some reason, the Christians, perhaps because a lot of Christians are up north in Northern Europe versus the Jews and the Muslims stayed in the Middle East in the desert areas. So perhaps with it being cooler up there in the winter, you could slaughter a pig and keep some of the meat in the snow in the frozen cold, so it was safer to eat. Um, Perhaps that's why it skipped Christianity, and but the Muslims took it on as their brothers did, their Jewish brothers did, and yes, they are. If you don't believe me, go check Abraham. Brothers from a different mother. Son of Staffs. Wow, that would be the Knight of Wands in reverse. I think they got sick from it. I really do. I think they got sick from it. 8 of Coins. Wow, that's interesting. 8 of Coins upright on top of the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It affected their work. It affected the way they could work. So you're getting sick, you're getting food poisoning, and you just simply can't work. And I think that's what maybe the doctor stepped in and said, or the shaman or whoever the village elder was, and said, I think it's the pork. Have you ever noticed every time we eat it, we get sick? So I think somebody stepped in, a master stepped in and made it a rule. The Chariot, yeah, let's get control of this situation. 2 of Cups upright. Now we're kind of getting into, do they feel pigs and humans are too close? Maybe when they cut the meat and it looks pink like a human. Or this just could be the 2 of Cups, the Jewish people and the Muslim people who both agree not to have pork. Let's take control. Let's right the Chariot is taking control of mind, body, soul. And so, like, let's take control and let's just tell everybody not to eat this. And then before you know it, no one's getting sick anymore. Oh, the Emperor. Yeah. The Emperor. So this came from up above. The Hermit in reverse. This came from this started from one of the kings. One of the kings said, I can't afford my people to be sick. The soldiers are sick, we might get attacked, right? Here's the soldier, the general. Um, and I think they just kind of came to an agreement that it was the pork, and it just came down from the sultan, from like, thou shalt not eat pork anymore, done, and so be it. Or the king, it would have been a king, and because, right, it would have been the Jews first that stopped eating pork, and then the Muslims would have picked that up from the Jewish culture. And so they just agreed to it. They're going, well, we don't really know why, but they don't do it, so, and they're not getting sick, and that's what their king said, so our sultan is also going to say that. So then the hermit in reverse, the Shah of Swords in reverse, Seven of Coins in reverse, Son of Swords upright, and the Eight of Swords, and the Two of Coins in reverse. You know what this is telling me? That even though this law was put in, this religious law or dictation was put in long ago, they now remained trapped by old ideas, right? So here it is written, Son of Swords, that's Knight of Swords. So that's it's written. But the Seven of Coins here tells me that there's no basis to it anymore. There's nothing to be gained by not eating pork anymore, especially with the Shah of Swords, the King of Swords in reverse. This just could be the leader of, whether that's this is the judge, right? So this is the judge. Would be like an upper echelon politician within the religion, who is, when you ask them why don't they, and they, well, it's in the Bible, it's in the Quran. Well, why is it there? And they don't know, but there's like, it's written. And so they remain trapped with an old idea. They're trapped in their own mind. The swords are words, so they're trapped within words. Well, the Bible says those words are in the Bible, so we shouldn't be eating pork. Or those words are in the Quran, so we shouldn't be eating pork. It's words, it's right there. And they're trapped by these words, by their own beliefs. Eight of Swords is you're trapped by your own beliefs. Two of Coins here in reverse, there's really no need to even debate it anymore. Of course, there's bad pork, good pork, just like there's bad chicken, good chicken. There's, commercial beef, and then there's grass-fed beef. And so I think this Two of Coins is telling us, like, there's really no debate anymore about it. We have refrigeration now. We have, clean slaughter. We have humane slaughter, et cetera, et cetera. That's also what I find fascinating. The two main religions that have this no pork rule also have really different butchering rules, for beef, and I believe chickens as well. And so I'm wondering if there wasn't something in there that they couldn't do with the pig, whether it's drain all the blood, or I'm not really getting a lot of that. I'm really getting that it made them sick. It made them sick. And then the powers that be said, we can't have our people becoming sick. No more pork. And unfortunately, that rule still applies, and there's no basis for it anymore. It's all in their mind now. Oh, there's the Alchemist in reverse. The Sun upright. Five of Wands. There might be argument within the groups. The Tower and the Nine of Staffs. Okay, I think that I think we're going to see something, that some of these rules are broken as we move forward, as religions evolve with the times, especially here with this Magician here in reverse. I think that and like I said, I've seen Muslims, I've seen them drink alcohol, I've seen them eat pork, I've seen Jewish people eat pork, and I think maybe that's just going to be, as more and more come into the Western world where pork is served and everywhere, and I think we're going to see some people kind of question it, And we might even see eventually with the sun here and the tower and the five of staffs, we may eventually see some of those rules go to the by and by. Maybe then it's just the extreme fundamentalists, right? Like that follow every word in the Bible, but maybe we'll oversee. It's not a general rule of thumb anymore, right? There's lots of things the Orthodox Jews do that everyday Jews they don't do, and some of them don't even know what they are. Same thing with Catholics. There's some things that really devoted Catholics do every day that I have no idea. And I had aunties that were like went to church, 3 times a week, and I there's some things I had no idea were part of the Catholic religion. And I think also this is showing us the youth coming up and struggling with, perhaps wondering why, and then breaking those rules. The nine of staffs here, that's nine of wands. And so I think it's something that's going to be um, broken. I think they might argue about it a lot, and then I think a lot of them are like every religion, it evolves, right? And I think this nine of staffs, I think after long, if this was in reverse, nine of wands in reverse, I'm going to say the issue will continue. I think we're going to see as early as perhaps 9 years that this issue will slowly fade away, because it is um, a matter of mind with this eight of swords. Now it's just a belief that they have. There's no basis to it anymore. As long as you're eating nice, clean, good pork that is, butchered properly and, from not a sketchy place, I think the cards are saying there's absolutely no reason not to. So I guess we'll see. So that's how it started. People are getting sick. Said you can't get sick. We need we need butchers, bakers, candlestick makers. Stop eating pork. It's bad for you. Oh, okay. And now nobody questions it, 6,000 years later. Why aren't they allowed to eat pork? But I think the younger people, I think they're going to question it and break those rules more and more and more. I think they, just, I think within 9 years, we'll see a lot of them, those kind of things kind of fade away. Also, could be a money thing too. I mean, pork is normally a little bit cheaper than beef. Anyways, there you go. There you go. So that's why those religions don't eat pork. It was very, very practical. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching and spending this time with me. See you in the next one.